alongside over there.
Dakota, straight ahead, Dakota.
Dakota,
Before you go, Dakota, right down here. Dakota at the end, please. Dakota, wait, before you go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God! Hey, come here. Yeah, right here.
Guys,
We love each other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Shia and me have been doing great, and Shia have been working so hard with me, then our friendship always been into our hearts.
Zack sort of broke Shia down in a way that I don't think that has ever happened to him, and he really loves him, and Shia really loves Zack the same, and I think that it's probably the most substantial friendship that I've seen.
What do you mean by broke him down?
I think it's just, it's in this industry, it's hard to let people in, and Zack is so pure that you kind of can't resist loving him.
Zack, can you turn just a little bit? There you go, guys. Thank you very much. Gentlemen down here. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
He's the strongest dude I ever met in my whole life. In every way, just in terms of what he's been through to get here, in terms of how long he's held on to this dream. We're here because of his dream, He's been hustling at this actor thing longer than I have, so it takes a lot of strength, courage. A lot of people said no to him before we got here, so it takes a lot of strength to hear those no's and keep trudging.
Thanks again for saving me, Rolo.
It's what I do.
Yeah. Shia always been my butter to me.
And you give him advice sometimes?
Yeah.
Oh, I love things.
It's more that way than the other way. Yeah.
Here we go. And gentlemen, there it is. Gentlemen, all the way down. Boys Club. Gentlemen.
Of course, from day one.
Yeah, we picked him up moment one. We had an old 1972 Ford F-150.
Ranger, yeah, they called it a Ranger at that time.
Yeah, and we had some tires in the back of the truck, and we were driving down to a fish dock like 3 hours south, and we were like, getting back, boys, and Zack jumped in back, and Shia sat in back in these old tires, and probably spent 6 or 7 hours just that day alone talking about, like, I think the good stuff that people talk about,
life, what makes you tick, what you're into.
Loving, people you've lost.
Driving through the countryside.
Grandparents, yeah.
And those two would also, they rehearsed their lines every night, but they also would disappear on Tuesday nights and go watch Raw and, really get into the wrestling, the wrestling element. So they still are really good friends. I mean, we were hanging out last night, today.
Yeah.
And guys, straight ahead for us, please, right here. And Dakota, whenever you can. Hands right here, guys. Right behind you, guys.
And I wouldn't say I'm frustrated at all when and if it does, but it doesn't really come up a lot, and that's nice too to let him put that behind him. This character in this movie, the character he plays becomes of service to somebody else, and sort of gives his life to helping others, which is something you wouldn't expect at the beginning. And I think it was nice to watch Shia go through a catharsis and get to experience that. So it is nice to see him. I think he's carrying himself in a way that feels really like he might have left that behind, and that's really cool too.
And everybody looking right here. Got Mr. Dern right here, sir. Thank you. And all three gentlemen right.
And it's in the center place right here.
Guys, one last time, looking back to you.
But he was wonderful. I think every now and then you go on a movie set, and there is a spirit there that invades everybody to a good place, and he had that here. I mean, he just made this a family, and the way he reaches out to people, he's not shy. Of course he's shy in certain situations, but he's without saying put him on the boulevard, he's a star. And that'll never happen very often.
Shia, right for this guy. Shia, one time. Shia, right here. Yeah.
And you want to continue with acting, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. A lot more.
And what do you think about his prospects in Hollywood?
He's fire. Yeah, he's fire. He's a dragon. He's an incredible actor. Yeah.
Come on, say it with me. Peanut Butter Falcon.
Peanut Butter Falcon!